couple of days ago I spoke about going up onto the hills to a small village to talk with a man about the genealogy of the people. And as I said then, we talked all night and he gave me the whole story. Occasionally through the night when things were getting a little bit difficult, he would call out to his wife, "Cook, more food." And so she'd bring in more food, which was mainly sweet potato, taro and other things, and of course more coffee, which I'd supplied. Welcome to Mission Alive. This is Roger from the MSC Mission Office. And this sort of activity of being out with the people and learning about their culture was very important to the mission. And learning about families and genealogies was very important and a great insight into the people. As we went through that night, this man Simon would give me the whole history of the people. He would start at the top with what we call an origin story, usually a story about a man somewhere, and then there was a woman, and then there was children, and there was a whole line of children. And then from each of those lines would come down the clan lines. And at one stage he came down one line, he came down, then he said, and the last one in that line is that little baby there. And so the story went. And I was taking notes, and I had a recorder, and I was recording everything. And later it took me about 3 months off and on to go back and to get all of that straight. But then we got to a certain stage and I said, now in these lists of families, you didn't mention the families of the women. And he looked at me in surprise and said, you want to know about the women too? Cook, more food. So the cook sent in more food and off we went again. And for each of those women too, a story, she got married there, went to that village, and these are all her children and all her descendants. And so it went through the night. One thing that reveals, and it shows very clearly, is that by and large, the people in Papua New Guinea, the Melanesian people, are in a male-dominated society. Man comes first. The woman is second, which is probably hard for many Western people these days to understand. But that's the way it was, and that's the way it is, by and large. And that's what people accepted. That was the life. But it is changing. Some places, traditionally, women had a great status and were leaders. Some of those were over in Rabaul, the Talai people, and the people from New Ireland. Often there, if the woman, the girl, was the first born in the family, she became the leader of the family. And so their tradition was somewhat different to most of the Melanesian people. But education and opportunity is changing things. And I remember once in Port Moresby we were running workshops for Catholic professional people on different parts of church life, Christian life, spirituality, what have you. And there was a number of women there who were well educated, had achieved good positions and were quite well respected within their profession. And they would stand up and speak. And it was like I had a vision that standing behind her was this whole line of nuns who had taught her. And I can imagine some of our sisters saying, now stand up, you speak up and you say what you want to say. And they were. In the same way too, when some of the men got up and spoke, I could see a whole line of De La Salle brothers and Christian brothers standing behind them, doing the same thing, telling them to stand up, speak out clearly and say what you want to say. So the church has contributed this in education and given everybody an opportunity and an equality of education. And so the change in the culture is coming about. Slowly, not as quickly as some want, but it is coming about. So that is part of the mission too, to enter into as much as we can into the culture, to bring to it what we believe, what is the gospel, and to help people to change their lives. This is part of our mission, and it's an important part. Thank you for being with us.